Bitcoin crossing over $120,000. What is going on this week? What are we looking at here? How much longer can this continue? We're going to talk about some of that stuff here this morning. But before we get going, check out the channel memberships. We've got 3 different levels, 3 different amounts of goodies you get for those levels in the memberships. Here you get Soda Straw, you get the badges and the emojis. Stalactite, you get that plus the member shoutouts. Instalag-mite, that's where you get the members only videos and real-time trade posts. I have also started releasing videos to the memberships early. So like usually YouTube has some time where it's processing, where like the monetization isn't working or anything. So I have to wait until that's done in order to release it to everyone. But if you're in the members, I'll leave those videos available to you immediately the moment they're uploaded. And then of course, they go out to everyone else as soon as YouTube has processed them properly. Like you can still watch them before they're fully processed. Like they're still there, and you can watch them in, usually not full HD, and it hasn't been, checked for all the copyrights and such. But the members can watch those videos while they're processing now, and then they go out to everyone else when they're done. All right, there's a lot to say. You'll get to watch videos a little bit earlier, and that will go in every level, not just Stalagmite. Stalagmite will still be reserved for some members-only insights as well as real-time trade posts. All right. Anyways, let's go take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin here, we're at 121,000. We went as high as 123,249. That was pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about that. So what's going on here? Right now, we went on angle 1, so now we're on angle 2. All right, we're on angle 2. We're looking for the next blow-off move, right? We're on angle 2. Honestly, if there's an angle 3, it would be straight up from here. Right now, we really don't want to see it go back beneath about 118. Preferably, we stay above this candle right here, which is 115.874. That would be the something bad's about to come in sort of candle. Let me get rid of that. We don't need that. Yeah, that 115.874, that will be things might get bad. We might end up getting all the way back down into like 105 or 100,000 if we get that low again here right now. So that's what's going on there with Bitcoin. We crossed the threshold. IBIT, it's going to be looking really good. I got the members alerted to get into IBIT before this pump here. We've been enjoying that quite nicely here. The biggest fear when you're in, especially if you're in options on IBIT, the biggest fear is the weekend, because if Bitcoin decides to tank, and I bet you it's going to tank over the weekend when it does eventually tank, because most retail is in ETFs, and the way the market works is it wants to harm the greatest amount of participants, which is going to largely be us retail. And if we've gone into ETFs, which only trade Monday through Friday, guess when the big boys are going to be dumping on us? They're going to be just selling, and there's nothing we can do but watch until Monday morning. That is basically how it's going to go. So whenever I'm feeling like something is topping, when I'm feeling like things are getting a little bit toppy, you better believe I'll be exiting on the Friday before the weekend comes through, because the weekend is the most terrifying, nail-biting period of time. Now, it's exciting. It's super exciting, like this weekend when you get the up move and you start breaking serious levels. But when it starts breaking serious levels to the downside on a weekend, that's going to be quite bad for all of us that have the ETFs. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at, not this one, global liquidity. All right, so this is what we're expecting. Look where we are right now on the global liquidity level here. All right. Yeah, we're about right there. Okay, so we got maybe another couple weeks left before we get into this little section right here that goes down, right? How far down is that going to go? I don't know, but I do have a feeling it's going to probably go down. You notice like it's popped up right here on June 5th where the liquidity popped up. That didn't last as long as it could have, but it came a little bit early on that dip, right? And then we started charging back up before that dip came in. So we might even see this week. Next week we might see that dip, and it could come as low as 103. It could come as low as 100, maybe even 98. I don't want to see this thing go back beneath 100. I feel like that would be bad overall. I really don't want to see it get back underneath this structure here on the left for Bitcoin. So this downturn in liquidity will be likely swift. It will likely be violent. It will likely bring in some fear. Now we do have a little bit of a pump before that, right? So we could pump a little higher, maybe 130, maybe 140. I'm thinking maybe 150 is probably the highest I'm expecting to see here in the next week or two. If we see it, which I mean, there's no guarantees that we will see that, but it's possible. And then a drop, back down to maybe that 110, 120 level again from above, and then we get into that grind up right here in the liquidity going through into Q4, which is very similar to that grind up that we got back here. Let me draw that back here where we did that grind up on the liquidity and in Bitcoin going forward. Looks like the market just opened, so that's going to be very exciting. Let me take a look. I'm really curious. Hold, please. I know it's not live for you guys, but the market just opened, so I kind of want to see how my IBIT's doing. Let me capture some of that excitement for the channel. Let's see here. That's a little lackluster. Let's see here. It's up only about 1,000, so I'm up 88% on my IBIT right now. So if you're in the members, you're up 88%. Some other calls that I pulled in the other day for the members is also doing decently well today. Some are still lagging a little bit. Some are doing really well. Some are doing just mediocre. That's kind of how it goes. Yeah, not too bad. But that IBIT, yeah, that's tasty. We're up 88% in just a couple of days. So that's pretty cool. Pretty happy about that. Feel pretty good there. Feeling pretty smart. All right. Anyways. All right. We're back on. Okay. A lot of alerts are coming up right now. I'm going to have to go look at those as soon as I'm done here. Anyways, let's see. Sol. How's Sol doing? So I have some Sol T here. We got an inverted head and shoulders that came through, and that could take us all the way back up to 185, maybe even 200 there. Let me turn off that liquidity. I don't want to see that right now. That's looking pretty good. I don't mind that as long as we continue to hold this line right here for Sol. I'm feeling pretty happy. We are on a trend line from beneath. We do need to cross that. Ethereum broke out. Ethereum is breaking out. Okay, Ethereum is doing a big old breakout. Had a big disgusting move, flush down, flash up, and we are holding there. We're doing that lockout now. Ethereum wants to do a lockout rally. Notice though how we're getting stuck beneath this structure right here. As soon as we get above that structure, which honestly, I mean, you got that little flash up to 3,700, but honestly, that structure's really at 3,500. Above 3,500, we will likely drive right up to 4,000 on Ethereum. So watching that real close. For Ethereum, I do have some ETH that I'm holding on to, and I might add if I get a chance. I'm thinking maybe I will add, perhaps, especially if we come back down a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Members will get that right away. Dogecoin doing decent. And here we went as high as 21.5 or something cents. Yeah, 21.5, 21.6. I got in a while ago, honestly, before this run up here. I got in at 16, 17 cents, and I've been holding on to those for a while. Everyone knows I'm in DOGE still, but that one's not doing so hot, and you can't even see that on TradingView right now. I'm only holding that for another 2 or 3 days, and then I'll probably let that slide and go away. What's going on with the semiconductors? They're not doing so hot. That might be something to look at today for a bounce later on in the week. Anyways, yeah, the warrants. Look at this, 2% on the warrants. What is this? CleanSpark itself is up 5%. What are the warrants not following for? We'll see. Maybe that'll be like a Tuesday, Wednesday move, and we'll see it pop up to maybe 70 cents or something. That'd be pretty cool. CleanSpark, we're at $13. We're at $13, 33 cents, 37 cents, 5%. Yeah, we're going. Iron's still running. That's pretty exciting. I would like to see, I wouldn't mind seeing this inverted head and shoulders on CleanSpark come through and go back up to about $18. That would do wonders for the warrants. That'd be pretty exciting. Mara up 7%. We're back above $20, so that's also very exciting. Bit Digital, it fell and now it's finding support right here just above that gap, which scares me because if it goes into that gap, obviously it's probably going to fill that gap down to 293. So I'm not really sure what to make of that right now. Anything else? Riot up 5%. Cypher up about 6%. Actually, Riot's also about up 6%. We are creating a bull flag right here on Cypher. You can see that bull flag coming in on Cypher. If that breaks to the upside, you better believe we're going to all-time, or not all-time highs, but cycle highs here. Probably going to run for $8 or so on that if that is to happen. Core Z's finally done dropping. Hit this trend line here. I might be interested in doing some longs on Core Z here. It hit this trend line. If we can get back above this red candle right there at about $13, back above $13, I'm interested in Core Z. Hut is, yeah, oh, actually, I really like that on Hut. Hut looks like it could run up for this gap here, about 25 bucks. That's a $3 run, but so that's not tons, but on an option, that's pretty sick. And we are on angle 2 for Hut right there. And if we can clear this gap on the left over here, this one right over here, boom, on January 24th, we clear that, we might be able to get angle 3 and fly up to 30, 35, maybe even 40 bucks on Hut. How's Wolf looking? Wolf is creating a flag. I'd need to see Wolf get above 548 to be interested there. Hive. Am I still holding those Hive calls? I can't remember. I must be. Yeah, Hive also doing a flag, and it is trying to break out of that flag. Honestly, not a lot of resistance up there until we hit, we could go up to 271, maybe even up to 340 on Hive before we really get slammed back down for any reason. MicroStrategy up 3% today. Let's take a look at BitDeer. I forgot about BitDeer. My thing got screwed up. Let me see here. BitDeer was doing really bad for a while, and it's still lagging behind its peers. This does look like an inverted head and shoulders right here. Let me bring this in. This does look like an inverted head and shoulders right here. And if we can clear this line here and honestly clear $16, then we got this big gap. It could take us up to about 20 on BitDeer. That'd be about a $6 move from where we currently are. And that'd be pretty sweet, especially in options. I don't know, though. It's hard to say. It's hard to say since they just haven't been doing well and they've been doing poorly when I thought they should be doing well. I'm not exactly sure what to make a BitDeer, but I can say if it gets above that 16.35, then yeah, it's going to go run up to 20, but then you're going to be missing a lot of the profit compared to where we are right now, especially with that inverted head and shoulder. So maybe I'd watch 14.79 for an early in on that, and then be cautious around that 16.30-ish, which is that high from this inverted hammer here on May 21st. That would be the scary part. So Luna, it went up, hit a trend line, dumped right down. Look at that, right up to the penny. I don't know what to say about that. It's who knows? Who knows? That was that zero hero, and it's still kind of being a bit of a zero, unless you bought in, under $1, in which case, you're doing pretty good. Okay, I don't know why that didn't work, but you're doing pretty good if you got in under $1 on that thing, up over 38% if you did that. I did not, so sucks. Bitfarms, what's going on with Bitfarms? It has to get over 120. Bitfarms has to cross 120. Until it crosses 120, this double bottom down here is just a pipe dream until it gets over 120. Once it's trading over 120, then we'll talk. Until then, I have no idea what to say about Bitfarms because they've just been getting hammered. Can up 7% today. That's not too bad. Similar to Bitfarms, I really need to see it get above 92 cents. It's got like a triple bottom down here. Let's take a look at that. Almost like a quadruple bottom. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We get above that 92 cents. We got room all the way up to 160. That would be an over 60% run. So that'd be pretty sick to see that come through on Can. So I'd be watching that. BTCS is the one that was brought to my attention last week by a subscriber, and it looks like it's doing this whole thing back here, right? This whole move. Looks exactly the same, and then we might find it coming back down, something like that, unless we take out that previous high. But who wants to wait for that, right? And who knows how high it's going to go after doing that, right? So I'm not too interested there. BTM, I'm only not too interested because it made its run and I missed it. That's all. BTM, not loading. I don't know why. Can we get that? There we go. BTM, oh, made a lower high. I don't like that. It made a lower high. Made a lower high. My alert says Bit Digital's about to fly again. Mid lower high, I don't like that. It would have to take this out before I'm interested on BTM. BMNR, the one that has Tom Lee involved, that gave back most of its gains. Wowzers. All the way down to 38 bucks, and I was trying to grow back up again. Let's see, where's the biggest candle right there? It's this one, of course, the biggest volume, and then the second biggest volume is over there. I don't know. I don't like the look of this. I'd like to see it above $59 before I'm interested because of that volume gap, but anywhere beneath that, yeah, we could fall back to 34, fill that gap below, maybe even this other gap all the way down here, like 10 bucks. So I'm not too sure what to say about that. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store link in the description as well as the channel bio if you want to join us in the members. And why wouldn't you? We're doing super well in there right now. Come and join us. Check it out. Getting the stalagmite if you want all of the benefits, but stalactite and soda straw will have some of their own benefits as well, and will support the channel, and I greatly appreciate anyone that's already done so or is considering doing so, joining the members. And with that said, have a profitable day.